Our next talk is about fashion. As the founder of the Fashion DAO, I know the importance of fashion, and DressX has been one of the pioneers in this space. Please help me welcome Daria Shapovalova.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I see a lot of people are not interested in fashion, very sad. But I can definitely assure you that it's a nice investment. And it will be just 10 minutes talk, by the way, so not that long. After you all speak a little bit quieter, I can start. Thank you so much, guys. So my name is Daria, and we started the company called DressX, and I'm talking today about the future of fashion, NFTs, and social media, retail, and beyond. So please raise your hand, those of you who has any fashion NFT in their wallets. Do you? Okay, that's good. At least like 15% of people, that's amazing. Thank you so much for believing in this part of the industry. So basically, I'm coming from the traditional fashion, and what always kind of fascinated me about fashion is the creativity, and I've been to all of the main fashion shows on the planet, like Chanel and Gucci and all of those. And I was always thinking that this is an amazing, beautiful industry, but it's very privileged. So we need to make sure that it is accessible to everyone, and that any person in the world can have access to fashion, beauty. Guys on the right side, can you please talk a little bit like not that loud? Really, I can't speak. I'm so sorry about that. Thank you. And yes, and basically that was why we started to believe that fashion should be a very important asset. And the way how fashion is developing right now in the world of NFTs is that more and more brands, quite fascinating and famous, like Diesel and Mugler and Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana and Dundas, are doing drops. And I believe that it will be more and more you see the same screens as I do. And I believe that more and more fashion houses will actually sell us the items that will be delivered to your wallets at the same time as you purchase a physical item. Because the thing about physical is that the item can be very beautiful, but the time that it can live on Earth is like around 50, 60 years. Afterwards, it will be just destroyed by the sunlight, and it will be like a part of the museum collection, but that's it. But in digital, it can live really forever, and that is why it is so special to have the same digital item in the wallet while selling the physical item. So we anticipate that more and more brands will do phygital items, and they will complement the sales of their most amazing couture pieces together with the digital ones. So that's where the industry stands to be developing, and that's exactly what happened during Paris Fashion Week this time, for the first time for the fashion industry, when a very famous house called Dundas presented a collection that was available at the same day in augmented reality, and soon, quite in like a couple of days, as NFTs on DressX, NFT.NYC, which and those items were also available during Metaverse Fashion Week in Decentraland. So it was pretty much the first time that fashion came so fast from the traditional runway to the wallets of the customers, of people, and in the Metaverse. And we anticipate that more and more brands will interact with their audiences like that. And a fun fact that one of the founders of the Dundas brand shared to us afterwards, that even that the show was absolutely fascinating and beautiful, like he had more calls about congratulating him for the Metaverse activity than for the physical show, which is actually a very kind of good indication for us that more and more brands should interact in this sort of realities when they're merging the physical shows. And don't forget, the physical show can cost up to like $2 or $3 million, and the small show is around like 1,200,000, 1 and 3, and that's kind of the minimum for the fashion show physical production. And that's why we definitely advocate with all of the brands that try to start monetizing your physical shows with the digital assets and sell those items as NFTs, and then make them available for different metaverse or Web3 environments. And that's exactly like the way how it started to happen now. There are fashion weeks traditional fashion weeks in New York, London, and Paris, and then there is Metaverse Fashion Week in Decentraland. So basically, we see the future when more and more brands will do like the show in the physical reality, followed by the fashion show in Decentraland and some other Web3 environments as well. So that's a glimpse from the show that happened for the same brand Dundas that I just told you about in Decentraland. So it was kind of a second step for the brand. And that's exactly like the Metaverse Fashion Week activation that was this time happening in Decentraland, where DressX, also our company, participated explicitly. We saw that there were more brands participating this time, and we think that more and more companies will be involved with the Web3 Fashion Weeks in the future, because as I've mentioned, even capitalizing and trying to make money after the physical shows, it's actually a meaningful thing, because the fashion show, the physical one, is usually spending a lot of money and anticipating that those money they will collect from the wholesale retail, but also can be collected much faster through the digital assets, and that's what is so meaningful. So basically, what also the future of the fashion NFTs that we anticipate significantly, and that's exactly what was available with Dundas NFTs, that I just shared with you and with some of the other NFTs from the fashion houses, is that you can wear your NFTs actually. So it's not about just holding them in your wallets, but also wearing them through augmented reality and on the still images. And the fun fact that if you wear the NFT on a still image, you can instantly post it and use it as your profile picture, and you can post it on your social media. So you kind of can like give a second life to your digital asset and not just to hold it in your wallet. And fashion is all about the utility. That is why it is so powerful. And actually, speaking about major moments in fashion, you probably remember this is inauguration of the ex-First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama, and she was wearing this dress by a no-name designer back then. His name was Jason Wu, and it was like the first time his name was everywhere in the press. So she wore this dress for inauguration. And what the beauty of it is that, like, we saw it once, and then it was donated to Smithsonian Museum. It became the part of American history. And usually those dresses, they stay in the museum forever, and that's how they end up their journeys, which is also fascinating. But actually, with this particular dress, what was significant that it was sold as an NFT. And obviously, this is something that will remain a part of a history then in the digital world. And it existed just in one copy, but as mentioned, it existed in all those various use cases that a person who owns it now can use it as augmented reality filter, create the content, and because it's token gated, it's only one person who can actually wear the same dress as Michelle Obama was wearing during the inauguration, but in a digital reality now. So we also anticipate that the major trend for the fashion houses will be that more and more fashion houses will invest in digitizing their major moments. When someone wore it on red carpet, inaugurations, and et cetera, et cetera. There are a lot of fashion moments, like Marilyn Monroe dress, for example, one of those she wore and everyone remembers. So that's exactly the use case I've been mentioning to you. This is myself wearing one of our NFTs by DressX on social media. This is our co-founder, Natalia, in a bucket hat on the right side, if you see the green hat on the TV, together with Megan Kaspar. It's another big influencer in the fashion NFT space. So that's exactly, ladies are showing how to actually wear your NFTs in action. And that's what is so special about fashion NFTs. Speaking about the future, more and more social media also will explore some use cases with the NFTs. We recently launched a couple of things with Snapchat, but we don't have much time to discuss that. So thank you so much for listening. And I do believe that you will probably spend some time on researching fashion NFTs more and understand that this is actually so cool because you can actually wear them, and this is why it's so significant. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Daria.